which is what we call university in some parts of the world. Number two, they are 75% less likely to have a child in the teen years. So teenage pregnancies are reduced by 75%. And number three, 80% less likely to be incarcerated. They will not find their way into prison. And next number is that they are half as likely to show various signs of depression. Why? Because they are emotionally hygienic. You are very welcome to the Inspired Family Leader Program with Samuel A. Bakutana, your host, a certified executive coach, award-winning leadership consultant, global speaker, facilitator, and author, CEO, Inspired Leaders International, and your Provincial Fathers Union President. Today, we are talking about how you can be a meaningful father in the life of your children. And with me in studio is none other than somebody who had a meaningful father. The Reverend Gillian Okello. You're very welcome.
Thank you very much, Coach Charles Bakutana. Thank you for having me. You have such a rich profile.
Thank you, by the grace of God.
I'm not sure I can go half that profile.
Yeah, because you're already above it, so no need to. You're very welcome to this program today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Good evening, viewers. I hope we are well and God has been kind to us. Yes, I'm happy to be here. And I hope that we'll have a nice time together.
Why not?
Yes.
It's already promising to be a nice time.
Amen. Glory to God. Glory to God.
So feel free to look straight into that camera and introduce yourself so that our viewers can know who our guest is today.
Thank you very much. My name is Gillian Okello. That's my name. By the grace of God, I'm born again. And I love the Lord so much. I'm a servant. I keep saying, introducing myself as a servant all through. I'm a servant of God. I am also a public servant. And I serve with the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, but I'm also the chaplain to the Anglican Parliament of Uganda. By the grace of God, I am married to one man, one good man. You call your charity watermelon. I call mine my eminat.
Your what?
Eminat.
Eminat. That must be some language from Eastern Uganda.
Yes, that is Ateso. In Ateso, it means my beloved, my love.
Eminat.
Yes. So my eminat is called Moses Okello.
Yes.
Together, the Lord has blessed us with 3 children so far.
So far.
Yes. And I bless the Lord so much for the opportunity to be here and to come and share about my dad and fatherhood.
Yes. Amazing. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank
indeed.
You. Thank you.
And we thank God for your eminent and the passion fruits. You said 3 children.
So far.
So far.
Simba wakati.
Indeed.
So far.
Indeed.
Yeah.
That's all right. Now, a few days ago, on the 19th of November,
yes,
it was the International Men's Day.
Yes.
But it's like, this is one of those days that comes and just passes by quite unnoticed. There is a lot of silence around it, and many people don't know about it. Today, as we talk about the story of your dad, why do you think this is like that, especially in comparison to dates like 8th of March and a number of other days? Why do you think it's like that, that a day like that usually passes by unnoticed?
Well, I first of all, I must admit that I learned it from you too. That was International Men's Day. It's not on my calendar, so I don't know when it was gazetted as a public. It should have been.
It was 1999.
1999.
Yes.
But for us, for the women, we have only one day, so that means it's a men's world probably. Well, I don't know. But
actually, there is Women's Day, 8th of March, 14th of Feb is actually Women's Day. So they call it Valentine's. And there is Mother's Day. Then there is Girl Child Day, and etc.
Well, I think there's been. I think there's been little publicity about it. That's one thing, and few people are aware about it. The focus has tended to be on Women's Day. I don't know, maybe because it's twinned with the emancipation and affirmative action program. I wouldn't really know. But definitely men, fathers are a key pillar in families. Without fathers, we can't have families. Without fathers, we can't have nations. Without fathers, we wouldn't be here.
Indeed.
They're very, very important. And I want to believe that had we known, we would have celebrated our fathers. The men in our lives, our husbands, our sons,
Our brothers.
our brothers. Yes, yes.
Wow. That very day, we had a conversation, you and I, and as we were having this conversation, a name popped up in our conversation, and that is your dad.
Yes.
And you spoke so glowingly. You spoke. I could tell there was a strong, deep relationship that you have with your dad, or you had with your dad.
Yes.
You really praised him.
Oh, yes.
And I felt like, yes, that day was a day when he should be given praise. He should be given... You know, one thing that has troubled me, my sister, is that we are so much focusing the world on the negative. We are focusing the world on the women that are not looking after their children, on the men that are not available. But there are women who are really doing amazing things in their marriages. There are men who are doing amazing things in the lives of their children. And I am coming from that angle of saying, I think we need to give more praise and publicity to men and women who are doing things right.
Amen.
We can't keep on talking about people who are not doing things right, who are
All
not doing
the
things
time.
right. Because in psychology, what you focus on expands.
Exactly. That's true.
So
That's
I would
very
like
true.
you to please go ahead and tell us about your dad that you praise so much.
My dad went to be with the Lord.
Yeah. When was that?
That was 15th August 2022.
2022. Yeah.
And not very long ago.
Yeah.
But my dad was a good man. He was a good man. And he was called, he is, I don't like to talk about him in past tense. He is called Professor Morono Lupot. That was my dad. My dad was the first love of my life. He was my friend.
Yeah.
He understood me. My dad poured into me. He spoke into my life. And my dad taught me and showed me firsthand what fathers are supposed to do. I got an impression of the kind of husband, the kind of man I should get married to from my father. My father was an academician, of course, yes. He was a teacher, he was an educator, he loved education, very brilliant, very visionary. My father could dream into the future, and he kept talking about dreaming into the future. And so he would tell you what is going to happen 10, 15, 20 years ago. And that happened even in the spaces that he worked. Because I sometimes meet some people and they're like, hey, Professor Lupot told us this, and it happened. That was my dad. My dad was a disciplinarian. My dad was a present father. We, as the six of us, me and I'm the firstborn.
Okay.
I'm the firstborn child, and 3 boys, 3 girls. He was present for all of us. He gave us all the best that he could.
Really? Because
Yes.
we could think he was so busy, a professor, lecturer, all over the place. We would think he had no time for the children.
No, he made time for us. He made time for us. He never missed a visitation. He never missed a class day. My dad even parented me up to my working life. That he would come to the office that I served in and meet my supervisors, my bosses. He got to know my colleagues. That was my dad. He made time for all of us, really, and he gave us the best. I call him a good man because the Bible teaches that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children. He left an inheritance for
children's
us.
children.
He gave each of us a good education, the best that he could, given the meager resources that he had. Yes, he was a lecturer at Makerere University. My mother was a teacher. Their earnings were quite low, but he gave us the best that he could. So he gave us an education. He gave us a home, a safe place to be. My father bought land with my mother and he planted trees. Very many trees. He was a lover of nature. He loved nature, and so he planted. If you come to our village, you'll get a lot of trees. There's a forest, a big forest.
Wow.
And so I call him a good man. He left a good inheritance for us. And that inheritance is not just for us, but for our children and our children's children.
Indeed.
Yes.
Amazing. Amazing. I don't know, people who are watching, what is coming into your mind right now so far? What are you discovering? What are you thinking about? Especially if you are a man and you are a father. For me, I will tell you what is in my mind right now, as our sister Gillian shares, is what will my own daughter say about me years after I'm gone? What will my son speak about me as a dad? When you hear these words that are glowing words about Professor Emron Olupot, what comes to your mind? I don't want us to just have this program today and we simply listen to a good story. No, I really want us to reflect and learn and resolve and do something about it. And on that note, therefore, I want to ask you, how did your father's presence become meaningful to you as a child? How did he make it meaningful? Because there is a difference between simply being physically present. And also meaningfully present.
Very
so,
right.
When I hear you talk, the impression I get is that he made his presence meaningful to you as a child.
Oh, yes.
Please speak into that.
My father was a present father. My father bathed me as a child.
Bathed you?
Yes, he did. He bathed me as a child.
Wow.
My father read for me books. He taught me how to read. I recall he used to buy those ladybird books. We had a number of them. And he would tell me to read a story. When it's my turn to read, I'll read a story. And he is laughing. And he's saying, Abdul had a hole in his shoe. And it wouldn't make sense to me, but it was fun. It was a bonding moment. So he taught me to read, not just books, newspapers. He would give us newspaper cutouts and ask you to read and summarize. Oh, yes. That was my dad. We didn't just watch TV. You had to watch TV. I remember it was Uganda television then. Uganda television
UTV.
then. UTV News. You had to watch new TV news and summarize. You had to have paper and a pen and summarize what you learned. My dad played with me. I used to play with my dad. I walked with him. And
What kind of games? Just curious.
I would climb on his back, I would scratch his back,
Yes.
and then I would play games like role playing. That you come back home, welcome back home, and he is playing back, and that came about because as a child I loved playing a lot, and I saw that adults didn't play. So in my world, I thought they were quite bored. And so one time I told him, Daddy, you must be so bored. I hate to see you like this. We should play. Yeah, you never play. And so I played with my dad. We played with my dad. We walked with him. He taught me life skills, He taught me life skills, all of us actually at home. For instance, those days we had UEB. It wasn't Umeme.
Yes,
and UEB used to misbehave a lot. And so it was standard that there had to be a candle and a matchbox at table, and it had to be in a set place. And so whenever,
just in case electricity.
Yes, whenever UEB misbehaved, he would just shout, "Scouts, be prepared." It's our motto, and you put on the light. So he taught us life skills such as those. He taught me early how to survive on my own, to live on my own. I remember as young as P4, I was in primary 4. He put me on a bus. That bus was called People's Bus. I used to have a lot of
UTC.
No, People's Bus. Yes. I used to have motion sickness, a lot of motion sickness as a child. But he put me on a bus, paid the bus fare, and had me travel from Kampala to Kumi. P4. I was so little and
That's
tiny.
a very long distance.
Oh yes, very long, and the buses
That's
were
about
slow.
8 hours, 9 hours?
By then you would leave at 6. If you left at 6, you'd arrive at 6 in the evening.
Yeah, 12 hours.
It was about 12 hours. It was the buses were quite slow and they kept stopping everywhere. But then, as you are traveling, before you travel, he preps you. He tells you, this is your emergency money for emergency fund. Keep it safely. You have a mouth, talk. Use it. If you're lost, if you need help, talk. Speak out. Yeah, speak out. Do not get lost. Remember, you're on your own. Very soon you'll be flying out, and you'll be going to flying to the UK. You'll be flying to America on your own. Who will help you? These are things that you need to learn. And so those are some of the skills my father taught me.
If you do that nowadays, they say that you are not respecting children's rights.
Oh, that's right.
That you are putting your child, in a danger.
Oh, yeah.
Your daughter, your son is not safe.
That's
You're
true.
just sending them alone.
Oh, yes.
Maybe make a comment about that, because that's common today.
It's very common
When
today.
you're disciplining your child, they say that is child abuse.
Oh yes, they say it's child abuse. As a matter of fact, I know of a family.
Yeah.
They have a senior force vacist now, and he's 18, but he can't leave home to come to town in a taxi. He has to be dropped.
Wow.
Yes,
That
I
laughter
think,
says it all.
I think in this era we are holding our children with kid gloves, as though they are going to be in our hands forever. We forget that these children have a life of their own that they have to live, and we have to prepare them. The home should be a laboratory where we prepare children.
Oh, say that
to
again.
Send them
the
out.
home should be a laboratory where we prepare children to send them out
Send them
into
out.
the world.
It is the first mission ground.
That's a quotable quote.
To send them out to the world so that they are able to survive. They are able to represent Christ even out there. So tell me, if you're no more tomorrow, how will your children survive? Today we find homes where children hardly even go to the countryside. They don't go to the villages. They don't know their relatives, And it's quite sad. I think it is one of the things that families need to interrogate, look into and interrogate again.
I hear you.
Yes.
You've talked about interesting things. You said that your father taught you life skills. I would like to dig a little bit deeper on that line of thought. You even told me the other day that your dad was your first teacher. And even at the beginning of this program, you said it again, that he was your first teacher. So besides saying he taught you life skills, maybe share a little bit more. What are some of the things that your father taught you?
My father taught me a lot of things.
Yes.
Other than the life skills, he taught me to have integrity. And he lived a life of integrity. There is nobody, I don't believe there is anyone who can come and say my father cheated them or took what was theirs wrongfully. My father taught us integrity. He kept saying, he used to call me by my surname, Amongin. I am named after his mother, whom he loved so much. So he kept saying, Amongin, we live within our means.
Yes.
We are honest people. We do not steal. That was something he kept saying, not just to me, but to my siblings as well at home. And I recall a time, as a professor, I was once his student. You can imagine. I was once a student when I was at university. During my first course, I was doing 2 courses. I was doing the bachelor's and another professional course by correspondence. And so my dad was my teacher.
At the university?
Yes, but it was a professional course in the UK. And so just the equivalent of with the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport. Okay. And so he was my teacher. He was self-taught and now teaching me. And I recall that the exams had been sent for me to write. I was the only one at that time doing those classes. And he had the exams at home, in his bedroom. I didn't know where he kept them. And it was a very expensive course, very, very costly. And I recall that he couldn't even show me anything. He couldn't even tip me anything. And I wrote those exams alone, transparently. We sat in an exam room and he invigilated. And I wrote. Not at home, not at home. We were using the premises. I think there were some gazetted premises that he had got for that program, still at the university. And so he was invigilating me as an only student. And I was like, wow, this man, this guy. He was a man, he taught me integrity, not to take what is not mine.
That was high level.
My dad taught us hard work.
Yes.
Smart working. He worked. He was a hard worker. He worked with his hands. He taught. He did business on the side. He was a farmer. He planted trees.
Yeah.
My dad worked with his hands. And he had this slogan of, you must observe time. Everything must be done within its time. So my dad taught me that. My dad taught me to do research in creative and innovative ways. I have talked about how you read newspapers and get articles there. And so when I was doing that course, quite often a lot of useful information is in papers, in the newspapers, it's in documentaries and magazines, journals, but we don't read. And so he taught me to do research. He taught me that when you read a piece of information, you should be able to get some information there, and that should enrich you. He taught us resilience. Our father taught us resilience. Let me tell you, we're living at Makerere University, and my father chose to take me to Uganda Secondary School. He chose to take all of us to traditional schools out of the city. My other sister went to Toro Girls. My brother went to Mwiri. Yes. So we all went away, and at the beginning of every term, everybody had to carry their luggage to the bus stop, and you had to go. Make your way there and take care of yourself at school, come back, survive with a little that was there, and live within our means. My dad and my mom.
What I'm hearing, let me tell you what I'm hearing before you can continue. What I'm hearing is that whereas your dad prepared a future for you, for example, through those things he put in place, like the planting of trees and so on and so forth, it sounds like he focused so much more on preparing you for the future than preparing the future for you.
Oh, that's right.
Which I think is one big mistake we are making as parents in this generation, whereby we focus a lot on preparing a future for our children.
Oh, yes.
We are planting those trees, we are buying all these pieces of land, and we are stacking money somewhere, and we keep saying we are preparing a future for our children. We even don't be with them, we have no time to talk with them, because we are busy preparing a future for our children. But we don't prepare the children for the future. And by the time that future we were preparing them for arrives, things have become totally different. That even the future you thought you prepared for them no longer really benefits them and works for them. And they are fundamentally castrated.
Exactly.
What I'm hearing is that your dad, yes, prepared some future for you, but focused largely on preparing you for any future that will come.
That's right. That's right.
Wow.
He prepared us for the future, and he kept telling us, dream the future and prepare for it today. My dad was phenomenal. And,
he must have been a man of slogans and mottos and
he was a reader.
Words.
Oh my God, he was a reader. And so whatever he read, whatever insights he got from books, he would come and share. If you go home, if you go to our home, he has more books. He had more books than anything else. And he would tell us, read.
My children, don't
Please
laugh.
read
I know
this,
you're
read
watching, and
this.
I know you must be laughing at that point. It's okay. You realize books are important. We have a whole shelf at home, and the home is full of books.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
One thing I know about you, the time I have known you, is that you are a disciplined lady. You are a lady of discipline. And when I hear the things you're talking about your father, there is no doubt he must have rubbed you somehow concerning that kind of thing. What was his approach when it comes to disciplining that you think could have contributed to making you the disciplined person you are now? Okay. Was he a man of the cane? Was he a man of... what was his approach to discipline in the home as a meaningful father?
Last weekend we were in a marriage retreat with my husband. And
Eminat.
with my eminat. I was in a marriage retreat with my eminat, and there was this speaker, Canon Tereraho, and he was sharing on fatherhood. Yes, he gave a very, very beautiful talk, powerful talk.
Yeah, we've hosted him here.
And one of the things he was talking about, one of the things that he was talking about was spare the rod and spoil the child. The approach that he took to disciplining his errant son. And hearing from him reminded me of my own father. My father, I think all my life he beat me only once.
Okay.
And my mother was very generous with the rod, very generous with the cane.
That
but
makes
my
it
father,
two of us.
But my father was.
I even have some evidence for such.
You see?
Yeah.
My mother beat you in advance, in anticipation of the sin or the wrong you are likely to do. But my father was not. He didn't use the rod, but he was firm. We feared him, respected him more than we did our mother. If daddy spoke, you listened. If what daddy said, you had to do.
Wow.
And so he mostly he talked. He engaged. His approach was we engaged. He would engage. He would talk. He would counsel. He would give you information. And that was his approach of disciplining.
Wow.
And so he tells you this and this is not right. This and this is not right. And of course, earlier in Sunday school, we had learned that we have to obey our parents. So I was that child who always obeyed my parents, who strived really to obey my parents. My father was firm, a very firm disciplinarian.
Disciplinarian, yes.
And his A was A, his B was B. He had values that he communicated to the family that we all knew of, that we had to live by. Yeah. There were boundaries that were set. For example, you couldn't get home after 6.
After 6?
No.
You don't come home?
You don't. Where are you from?
And whose home are you entering at 7?
Whose home are you entering? And even for our friends who are visiting, he insisted on getting to know their parents. And you wouldn't just sleep out. How do you sleep out? And so one time I remember...
It's quite common. You hear people talk of sleepovers.
Oh, yes. And so I remember one time there was this this girl, were in school together. And, because we lived at the university that time, it was so prestigious. Everybody would want to come there. And so she came and said, Jill, I've come to visit. They called me Jill. And I'm like, okay, welcome. And she kept there, and she came around maybe midday. She kept there until night. My dad came back and she was there. I said, who are you? Who are your parents? So what are you doing here this time? What are you doing here this time? Are your parents aware you're here? I can't keep you here for the night. I must take you back. He took her back to her home.
And I think maybe that's what he also expected any other parent to do to his daughter.
Exactly.
If my daughter is out there at that time, and you just keep looking at somebody's daughter, somebody's son in your home at a weird hour when everybody should be in their family, and you just keep quiet,
and then
that's quite irresponsible parenting.
Yeah, very responsible parent. So he was a responsible parent. he had those values that had to be respected, that had to be, like dress code, you had to dress a certain way. I recall one time wearing shorts, and he just came and said, I will not get my daughters dressed like that. That was the end of it. And yeah. And as a disciplinarian, he never gave up on his children. Children cannot never be the same. Some of us were a bit cheeky and got in trouble at school, ran into trouble at school, but he never gave up on them. He never gave up on them. I remember one of my brothers, younger brothers, he was a bit cheeky and he got suspended from one school. And he took him home. He stayed home. By that time, they had moved to live in Lutete. He had built a home there. And so he would make him walk to school, to college, walk one way.
Yeah.
The transport was strictly one way.
Wow.
Yes, the transport was strictly. So that his approach to discipline was different. It wasn't the road, but it was more of helping you to see the right way you should walk in, helping you to see your error and try and correct it.
Yeah.
That was his approach, mostly. Yes.
While for mom, she had read Proverbs 23, verse 13.
She read it literally.
Proverbs chapter 23, verse 13. Do not withhold discipline from a child. If you punish them with a rod, they will not die. That's what that verse says.
Oh yes, she had learned that so well, and she really applied it a lot.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So now looking back, therefore, what would you say if you were to look at the top, because there are quite a number of them, but if you were to look at the top 2 to 3 habits that you feel these habits of his shaped your life the most, which ones would you highlight?
Because he was visionary, and he had a tendency of looking into the future, imagining the future, and creating it now. I tend to be proactive. I tend to dream. I tend to envision the future and plan for it today, and plan for it today. Together with my husband, I have an idea of what I want our sons to turn out, what I want them to do, how I would want them to turn out, and so we plan for that. My dad also, I speak out. I am not gagged. He taught us to speak out. He encouraged us to speak out. You spoke out. We're not gagged. And so when I see an injustice, when I see something that doesn't sit well with me, I will not just idle away gossiping. I'll talk you into it. I'll face you and let you know. Face it heads on. And of course, hard work. My dad was a hard worker. And he taught us hard work.
Yeah.
Hard work.
Wow.
Yes.
He imagined the future and became proactive and became a dreamer. He spoke out, not gagged, and was a hard worker. And you look at these 3 and you say, I have them, and they came from dad.
And by the way, my dad did the things that were out of the ordinary. I recall, it was very prestigious, again, like I said, to live at the university.
Yeah. And
so it happened that many of the lecturers didn't have, especially from our side, they didn't think it wise or right to buy land and to have accommodation in Kampala or in the region.
Yes,
And so I remember my dad defying that. He defied odds, by the way. He defied that, and he bought a piece of land where they are. And amidst ridicule and opposition from his peers, he bought land and he built a house. And everybody was saying, how can you come and develop this place? But
you belong to Tesoland.
Oh,
you
yes.
are developing Uganda.
Oh yes, but he
that
had
was
that
shallow thinking.
Yes, indeed. And by the way, many of the professors would die, and when we take them, you're taking them for burial, they don't even have homes. I don't know what the problem was then, But my dad built a home. He bought land. He built a home.
Yeah.
And he was the first. He was among the first among his peers to move out of the university house to go and stay in his own house.
Yeah.
And that is another thing that I learned from my father.
Wow. Yeah.
That's part of being visionary, but also thinking outside the box. Do not allow to be boxed in just because everybody is comfortable with it. You know, does not mean that you have to. It should be okay with you.
When I hear this conversation, Jill, it's a conversation of a leader.
Yes.
It's a conversation of a leader. It's a conversation of a strategic thinker. It's a conversation of a proactive implementer, and so on and so forth. Today you are a leader in many different spaces. I see we just have about 6 or 7 minutes to end this program.
Okay.
So in just about a minute, would you tell us some of those spaces where now you are a leader, and maybe 1 or 2 ways how you think your dad actually prepared you for such a time as that? Of course, what you've already shared, all of that was preparation, but if you could highlight 1 or 2 things that he specifically did that made you a leader that you are now, and the spaces where you are leading now, that would be awesome.
One thing that I didn't mention is that my dad spoke life to me. He spoke into my life.
He was a positive prophet.
Oh yes. My dad was a prophet. Much as he wasn't born again, by the way, he got born again on his deathbed.
Oh.
But his mouth had authority. Whatever he uttered,
Yeah, of course.
Came to reality. He spoke
Parental
to my life.
authority
I am a
in the spiritual
minister
realm.
of God because my father spoke it. After my first graduation, bachelor's, we had a party.
That was a bachelor's in, did you say logistics?
No, that was the professional qualification.
Okay.
I had a bachelor's in arts,
Okay.
and I emerged the best overall student in the university. You can imagine the pride on his face. And so when we had the party, my father spoke at the party. I was the first girl to graduate in both clans with a degree. My father spoke. Now that she has graduated, the weddings are coming. He spoke that, and the weddings started coming. Again, I was the first to wed properly. First girl to wed properly from both sides.
The word of the Father.
So he spoke to me, and the things that he spoke into me that I am saying, I keep seeing happening every day. You will be this, you will do great, you will do this. If you do this, you know, this and this will happen. So that is one of the ways he prepared me. He spoke life. He spoke positively to me.
Yes.
But he also gave me the first and the most appropriate career guidance.
Okay.
He shaped my career. He gave me the career guidance, the best career guidance that propelled me and settled me where I am. I wouldn't be where I am. By the way, that course that I did, I was the first lady to qualify in it. And I remember when I walked to Century Bottling Company with my papers, I met a Muzungu, a South African called Van Veck, and he literally shook. When he saw my papers, he had never seen them.
Wow.
And there were no people with them. So the career choices, the guidance that he kept giving made me who I am. But also the planning skills, those planning skills, you know, the hard work, they have led me to the space that I am.
So where are you leading now? We heard you were at Parliament of Uganda as the chaplain of the Anglican chapel there.
Yes.
Where else are you leading in whichever spaces?
I also I serve in Ministry of Finance, and I serve in Ministry of Finance. I am a mother, full-time mother, I'm a full-time wife, I'm a daughter.
That's a serious leadership role.
Oh yes, I'm a daughter to my mother and so many other things.
Okay.
I'm a woman of many hats, yes.
I hear you. As we wrap this up, what do you think stops some men today from being as meaningful as your dad was? In just a minute, what are some of the things that are stopping the men today from being as meaningful to their children as your dad was to you?
Many things. First of all, I thank God that my husband is in many ways like my my father, my eminent. Yes, he's a meaningful father to our children.
I think it's what I always hear, that many ladies are looking for their dads in the husbands to marry, and especially if their dads were good.
And that is why it's important for fathers to invest in their children.
Yes.
Because that investment will determine their choices even of spouses later, and their married life. And so I think that men today, there are a number of factors, but I think there is poor grooming, lack of poor grooming, and maybe role modeling that is lacking. For example, these days you'll find that the girls have bridal showers, where people talk to them, the aunties speak to them and prepare them for marriage. Their roles to play their roles in marriage, but not so with the men.
Apart from St. John's Church of Uganda,
apart from St. John's, thank you for what you're doing.
Showers.
Thank you for what you're doing, what the Lord is enabling you to do through Fathers Union. We are finally seeing the men, the fathers beginning to rise up and take their positions. But I also think there's a traditional mindset about parenting, that there's also that it is the women to bring up the children, it's the women to go to visit them at school. As the men are looking for money, the women do that. Maybe that could be another one. But also we have a lot of technological invasions now. The phones, the TV, the temptation to allow children to be parented by gadgets. By gadgets,
Uncle TV, Teacher Google,
Daddy's on phone, and
Mommy's on the tab, and the children are
being babysat.
Watching cartoons, Cocomelon,
all
that nonsense.
I think also that is also, plus stress, a number of factors really.
Okay. I would like you to give your parting shots by way of telling us, what do you think is that one message that your father would give fathers today, that you can represent him right now, Jill Amongin, to give to the fathers as we end this program right now?
I think that my father got born again and he died in the Lord. And I think that he experienced firsthand the love of God as a father. So I think that my father would say that God is the best father. He is the best father, and is the father to all. The fatherless and those who have never experienced a father's love. He is a father to all, and he loves us perfectly. He fathers us perfectly, unlike the earthly father. And so it's important that we all experience this love of God the Father. We embrace this love of God the Father. Because when we do, then because God He loves us, He guides us, He provides, He disciplines us, He trains us, and then we shall be able to shape our children, to pour it in our children. But also, I would like to talk to the fathers today and just urge them to be present, not just physically, be present in all ways in the lives of your children. Let's teach our children. God instructed Moses in Deuteronomy 5 or 6, we should teach our children, train our children, teach them the word of the Lord, that they shall write it on their foreheads when they are sleeping, when they are going to school on the way. So we should be present, we should teach our children. But most importantly, and this one I think you will really love it, love their mother.
Why do you think I would love it?
Love their mother, be faithful to their mother. That is one of the best ways to be a good father to your children.
Amazing. That was Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 6 to verse 9.
Yes.
That all the things that you have heard, all these amazing words that the Lord had spoken to Moses, he was telling him, now you need to teach them to your children. Teach them to your children. Teach them to them when they are waking up, when they are sleeping, when you are walking along the roads, as you go out, as you come in, put them on the door posts of your house, and so on and so forth. Being a meaningful father, it's not enough to be called so and so's father, that you are simply responsible for the pregnancy that once happened. That's not enough, my bro. It's not. It's critical that we take another step, a step of being in the lives of our children in a meaningful way. Look at these things that Reverend Gillian Okello has talked about her dad. Things like he disciplined us. He made time for us. He never missed a visiting day. He gave us a good education. He planted a forest of trees. He read for us books. Daddy bathed me. He taught me how to read. He played games with us. He taught me life skills. He walked with me. He taught us by example hard work, integrity, time management, research, resilience, reading and planning. He disciplined us, family. He set boundaries for us as children. He communicated values. He endeavored to know all our friends and their parents. He imagined the future and became proactive. He spoke out and was not gagged. He was a hard worker. My dad defied many odds. He spoke life into my life. He gave me the first career guidance. And today he would say, God is the best father. What will your son speak about you? What will your daughter speak about you, my brother? There is a gentleman called Ronald Rohner. He said this after doing a research on parental influence. He said, a father's love and nurture are just as important as a mother's love and nurture for a child's happiness, well-being, and success. Let me say it again. A father's love and nurture are just as important as a mother's love and nurture for a child's happiness, well-being, and success. And I think this speaks into the statement that our guest today spoke about just a few minutes ago towards the end, when she said it's not the traditional bit of thinking that women are the only ones to raise these children and the dads have to be away looking for money. The mother's love and nurture are very important. Similarly, a father's love and nurture, very important. Each one of them plays a critical role in the development of a child. And therefore, my brothers, let us go and be meaningful in the life of our children. Like I wrote in Courageous Dads, one of my books, 2024, I said, if you want your children to be in your life tomorrow, you better be in their life today.
Oh, yes.
This has been the Inspired Family Leader Program with Samuel A. Bakutana, your host, with our wonderful, intelligent, amazing guest and sister and leader and pastor, Gillian Okello. Until next time, live exemplarily, love authentically, and continue to lead relationally.
Just one wife, that you need the leadership skills of a general.
Yes.
To lead an army of one woman.
So we have to take a lot of pain, a lot of effort to teach children how to get along with one another.
Your raw material is money.
Of course.
But it is not your money.
It is not
That
yours.
is the biggest challenge. So if you do not fear God, you will end up misappropriating this money and taking it to be your own. Yet it is just what you're using to do the work that you're doing.
So ego is very dangerous to me, and we should avoid the extremes.
This program exists to equip, challenge, and empower men to expand their family leadership capacity